while we've just had some super fun dumb when it comes to the background story of the failed Devon Archer, I don't know, was a hearing, a listening party. Let's just call it a listening party, and what the Gal Luft testimony that never was and never will be. Meanwhile, let's get someone's moronic take, and I don't even need to do all of this one, on the Trump indictments. This is Glenn Beck. Why Trump's third indictment could set a dangerous precedent. What do you think? I don't know, because you know I don't pre-watch these things, because I feel like that's cheating. And I'm talking to you, Sitch and Adam, that you should be able to have recall and draw up what you're talking about, like, instead of like, oh, I found the perfect gotcha video where they say all the wrong things and none of the right things. It makes my job easy. What's on trial here? I think Trump's nunt. How about that's what seems to be. Also, you know what else is on trial? Glenn Beck's weird Gerber baby food Campbell's soup can filter that he throws on himself, and also his Benny Hinn hairdo that is increasing in loft. All right, here we go. I'm not going to do all this one.
So let's go through this. Biden's Department of Justice basically just handed down a charge of criminal misinformation.
Yeah, he's going with the free speech idea. Yeah, this is going to be stupid. Look, just because Trump said some things, okay, now what? What? Saying things is illegal? We can't even speak now? That's what they want. That's what they wanted, the Ministry of Truth. This is so 1984.
And that's
good. Yeah.
Seemingly made-up crime somehow led to a coordinated assault.
You know, it actually in the indictment says this is not about the words he said, it's about the actions he took. You know that, right?
On the Capitol on January 6th.
Right. When a general says charge, that's just him exercising free speech. If he says charge and sends his troops to kill women and children using bayonets and chainsaws, that's not a war crime. It's just free speech. He just said things, and they did the things, if they even did them. I mean, who maybe it was a giant mass chainsaw suicide.
Now, this is a game-changing precedent.
No, it's not.
Trump is convicted on this. Is misinformation now a crime under case law?
No. Next.
Are untrue political statements made by politicians or others, in other words, 99% of every 99% of everything politicians ever say,
by the way, hack bullshit. Stuff that, by the way, Glenn Beck doesn't even believe himself. If 99% of what 99% of them ever say, then who the fuck is he voting for? Ever? Is he walking into the booth going, can't wait to vote for 6 of these liars and 2 of these bullshit artists?
Is it now a potential crime?
No, it's not. No, it isn't. It is not. It isn't. I don't know what else to tell you.
If misinformation is...
It's not misinformation. It's instructing people to violate the Constitution as the president of the United States. I gotta say, even if they made it that the president couldn't commit acts of misinformation leading to violent insurrection, and thread it as narrowly or as broadly as they wanted to, the chances of any of us violating it would be fairly slim. I mean, we would have to be A, president, and B, colossal assholes.
The crime, will they ever go after, let's say, the Washington Post for the crimes of misinformation that they have done on Hunter Biden?
I agree. I mean, I think that if anything, that article that I went after that said this is how they verified the Hunter Biden laptop, when they in fact had never seen the Hunter Biden laptop, they never even claimed to lay their eyes on it. So therefore, even using that in an editorial or in a sense, or as clickbait on a title, is in fact misinformation. The fact that it was called a forensic nightmare by their own texts, and in the beginning of the article they talk about verifying it. Well, you can't verify something that your own texts call a forensic nightmare. As a matter of fact, you are doing the opposite of verifying it. So I don't think so. I don't think we're, and I'm glad you care, Glenn. I'm glad that you actually give a shit.
Under that precedent, are the actions of others considered the fault of the person that committed the said crime?
Okay, one of two things is happening. Glenn is just using words to get to break again, or like leading you into this, like, we'll explain this later bullshit that he does, where he does his like these bi-monthly specials or whatever the fuck he does. Or he's afraid that shit he said is going to suddenly be illegal, which it isn't, because nobody cares.
We have to be very careful. What exactly is on trial here?
A president with the power to control the military and the halls of the Department of Justice with people that he had put in place, and his attempts to manipulate the forces of the U.S. government after he had lost an election to maintain power he did not earn. That's what's on that. I mean, if you did you really want to know, or were you just making chit chat?
Is it political speech?
No. This is easier than I thought.
Is it lies?
Well, I hope not for your sake.
Is it anything the regime doesn't like said?
Regime doesn't like said. I know that I bet if you polled everybody who works in the White House, the majority of them would not like the word moist, even when it's used to describe cupcakes or muffins. But I don't think they're going to legislate.
And does it matter who said it?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think if the chef says moist, it's better than somebody who's pointing at their shoes.
A judge assigned to this case is an Obama appointee. Okay, fine.
Fine. He has to say that because Eileen Cannon.
In Washington, D.C., her name is Tanya Chutkan. She is the only judge in D.C. who has handed down sentences to January 6 defendants that were longer than the government requested.
How many other judges were there? Is she assigned all the big violent cases? Are the newer judges only assigned like the petty misdemeanor things? Fuck you.
To say Trump is attending a trial behind enemy lines is an understatement.
No, it isn't. He has, if he was behind, quote, enemy lines, he wouldn't have any legal rights whatsoever. If you don't believe me, here's a good idea. Put a tape recorder in his pocket and drop him over the North Korean border. Oh, and dye his hair brown and you know, put contacts in his eyes so they don't immediately recognize him.
This is a witch hunt.
So you're saying Donald Trump is a witch? I don't buy it. Because I would believe that there's a spell that would get rid of that slit in your... Ugh.
They want to throw him in jail, and all of the people are in place to make this happen.
By the way, I would like to say for the record, this is nonsense. I do not want Donald Trump thrown in jail. I don't want him thrown in jail. I want him walked into jail. Probably with small steps, because if they've got the shackles, because you got to treat him like everybody else. You can't have a two-tiered justice system, right? If everybody at that prison has to wear shackles, why should he be any different? Just because he can't run. And I mean, but I don't want him thrown in jail. I want him. Shit, you can walk him in there holding his elbow for all I fucking care.
This indictment focuses on events that happened in 2020, but don't be fooled. This
No. No. It was part of an ongoing thing. As a matter of fact, a lot of this happened in 2021. If you'll recall, that's when January 6th was. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm all right. Fucking stupid. Oh, no. January 6th was in 2021. Fuck.
Free health care for illegal.
Has nothing to do with 2020 and everything to do with 2024.
Well, or 2021, actually.
I want to show you an interesting timeline.
Okay.
Tell me if this doesn't look curious.
Oh, okay. We're not going to see, like, before and after pictures of Stu, are we? Like, before Sonic, after Sonic? No.
June 7th, the FBI releases...
Oh, yes. Somebody asked in the chat room, by the way, I will be on Tony Michael's show tomorrow at 10 a.m. my time, I believe. Yes, the pressure campaign worked. He was like, everybody's saying you're going to be on my show tomorrow. Is that true? Can we, what time? I'm like, oh, how about this? And hopefully that works for him.
Documents to Congress alleging that the Bidens took $10 million bribe from Burisma.
Took $10 million bribe from Burisma. Took I guess, or multiple, but the idea. Okay, run that by me again.
Documents to Congress alleging that the Bidens took $10 million bribe from Burisma. The very next day, June 8th, Jack Smith indicts Trump in Mar-a-Lago document case.
No, the grand jury did that. And they had already started the process by which the grand jury would wind down what they were doing. It was already in sort of in the news, and everybody's like, is an indictment going to come forward, or are they going to unseal the indictment? So the timing of the Hunter Biden stuff, or the timing of more, actually the Comer shit, is more in line with being a reaction to Trump's indictments than the other way around.
July 26.
Because again, it's an ongoing grand jury. So the grand jury is either done or it's continuing. And quite frankly, once they continue, if they're continuing, it looks worse and worse and worse.
Hunter Biden goes to court and rejects the sweetheart plea deal after it was revealed the DOJ tried to give him...
Wait, Hunter Biden rejected the sweetheart deal? What was he thinking?
Rejects the case. July 26. Hunter Biden goes to court and rejects the sweetheart plea deal.
I don't know. Obviously, he's back on the pipe. Yes, how many millions of dollars did Victor Shokin and Burisma pay to the grand jury members? We'll never know. I'm just asking questions.
After it was revealed the DOJ tried to give him blanket immunity from all future prosecutions.
I can see why he would turn that down. Yeah. Apparently, so that's the story you're seeing. This man is reading. Read that to me again, stupid.
Indicts Trump in Mar-a-Lago document case.
Right, after a grand jury looked at all the evidence, and then the process was coming. Yeah.
July 26. Hunter Biden goes to court and rejects the sweetheart plea deal after it was revealed the DOJ tried to give him blanket immunity from all future prosecutions.
Jesus Christ. All right, that settles it. Hunter Biden is the most honest person ever. What? Who does that? Oh, Glenn, you putz.
The very next
Stu's not even stepping in to help him. They're not even bothering.
day, July 27th, Jack Smith adds more charges for Trump in the Mar-a-Lago case. July 31st, Hunter.
What happened on the 28th, the 29th, and the 30th? Huh? Why'd everything go quiet?
Biden's former business partner testifies to Congress that Joe Biden was on over 20 calls with his son's business partners.
No, that's not what he said. He said that Joe Biden, over the course of 2 decades, called his son every single day. Every single day. Spoke to his son every day. I love you, son. How you doing? We've heard some of the recordings. Worried about his addiction. Lost his other son. Was worried he would lose his only leftover son to God knows, fentanyl or some shit like that. Calls him every day. Jill calls him. They worry about him, blah, blah, blah. And over the course of 2 decades, 20 times, other people were present. And he's like, hey, Dad, I'm sitting here on speakerphone. Gary's here and Stan and Viditjorf and Glunded Flurgen. And they're all sitting here with Chow Yun Fing and Yam Yo Bat and Ya Yo Gat. And hi, guys, how's the weather? Aha! That's you don't understand. Joe Biden was vice president at the time, and he had control of the weather control systems from DARPA. How's the weather? How would you like it to be? Bazap.
And that
I have folks, not a joke. I've got a button for Jewish space laser right here on my desk.
Burisma executives pressured them to fire the prosecutor. The very next day, Jack Smith indicts Trump again for January 6th. Wow, that is a series of really remarkable coincidences, isn't it?
Well, it looks like the Republicans are taking old news and new bullshit and trying to mix it together into a conspiratorial soup. And then they are just having ongoing investigations that aren't going anywhere, but they can release or schedule things when they see that the grand jury or an indictment is coming down. Yeah, I mean, pretty obvious. Also, who in the chat has the laptop? I just saw somebody say they had the laptop. Who was it? Who's got it this week? Buzzkill Monkey still has it. Okay. Pass it around. Don't bogart the laptop. It's just not done.
This government being run by Joe Biden and his allies.
Allies. If you know what I mean.
Are using every deep state trick they can.
That's right. They're using the Jewish space lasers to shoot Donald Trump with a mind control MK Ultra reflexor ray that hits him right in the forehead, bounces around until it finds some usable brain cells, and then makes him refuse to return classified documents and sign deals with the Saudis at the same time while storing them in a shitter near a public stage at his property. Oh, Joe Biden, you are so insidious.
They seem to be working hand in hand with the left now for
So it's a communist plot.
several years.
For several years. The left, what do you mean? Because at this point, when he says the left, it could be like some woke bullshit that he's talking about, that everybody, the wokety wokes, or communists and Marxists, or just Democrats. I got news for you. Joe Biden's been working with the Democrats for a long time.
Their next big target is 2024.
Well, the next big election, sure. What the fuck do you think the Republicans are doing all this Hunter Biden shit for, dummy?
And it is something Democrats have been getting ready for years.
I mean, because it's 3 years. Oh, good Lord.
They have been building systems, plans, and helping impose new election laws that will turn the 2020 debacle into the new normal.
No, that's what Trump's shooting for. And he's going to succeed because he's going to totally fuck the Republican Party. And if you don't believe me, ask cat shit over here. Dear loser Republican Party. Yeah, that's the deep state. That's the cat shit is a member of the deep state now. That's just, and by the way, where are we? Hold on, let me scroll this out. I'm gonna jump in here real quick and say hi before I run out of time. And Anita Blake, hi, how are you? Hello. Yeah, get ready for your FEMA camps, everybody. Hal likes Clint. Do I? I love all these Looney Tunes dummies. Well, it's again, I'm not dehumanizing anybody. I'm not saying he's not a human being. Just saying he's a fucking idiot. Deanne, hello. Hello, Ireland. How are you? At some point, I'm going to have to watch some Dylan Moran, sir, in my kaflinkle as I stir it into my filter pot. Your union is suggesting streamers shut down support. Really? Well, that's not going to happen because the streamers aren't in AFTRA. Here's the thing. Do I think AFTRA should incorporate streamers in that at a certain point you can join the union based on your streaming capacity? That'd be fucking awesome. But at a certain point, there is no streaming union or anything like it. And if anything, it just sets it up so that only union members or people who are sympathetic to it will shut down, and therefore it'll allow other people to gain ground who aren't for that because it's silly. Anyways, hi, hey, Carl, how are you? It's gotten to the point of cancel everything. No, we're not to that point. Actually, I've been babysitting Hunter's laptop for the FBI since 2000. Son of a bitch, Gracie. Why would you not let us know next time? For God's sake, we were all looking for it. We thought we'd found it, and yet.
Tonight, I'm going to lay out all of this on my Wednesday night special.
Oh, get the fuck out of here. All right, that's it. That's worse than a gold ad, jerkweed. Ugh.